Die! Join me!
In the Wheel of Time, power is often measured in weaves: fire that scorches Trollocs, water that heals wounds, air that shatters stone. We watch Aes Sedai bend the one power to their will, warders wield swords with superhuman skill, and Forsaken unleash chaos with a thought. But there's a force, far stranger, far more pervasive, that defies this logic: the Ta'veren. These are the Wheel's chosen individuals, so intertwined with the pattern that reality bends around them, weaving unlikely coincidences, forging alliances out of enmity, and forcing events into alignment, all without a single conscious act of channeling. Unpacking the Wheel's chosen means confronting a truth that redefines power itself. Sometimes, the most transformative force in the Westlands isn't something you wield, it's something you are. Ta'veren aren't just lucky, or charismatic, or destined for greatness. They're anomalies in the pattern, walking gravitational wells that pull the world toward them. The wheel spins around their lives, rearranging chance, people, and even fate to serve a greater purpose, often without the Ta'veren themselves realizing it. A farmer's son from the Two Rivers doesn't become the dragon reborn just because he can channel Seddon. He becomes it because he's Ta'veren, a nexus around which the pattern tightens, forcing prophecy into motion. This isn't magic, it's the Wheel's own hand, using mortal lives as anchors to steer the course of history. To be Ta'veren is to be a living paradox. You have no control over the chaos you create, yet every choice you make ripples outward, reshaping the world in ways no Aes Sedai's weave ever could. Examples in action make this anomaly impossible to ignore. Look no further than Rand al'Thor, Mat Cauthon, and Perrin Ibarra, the three Ta'veren of Emond's Field. Their impact isn't just in the battles they fight, or the weaves they channel, or refuse to channel. It's in their sheer gravitational pull on the pattern. Take Rand's early flight from Emond's Field. A band of untrained farm boys, fleeing Trollocs and dark friends, should have died within days. Yet the pattern bent for him. A stranger in Baerlon accidentally handed him a map, marking a shortcut around a shadow spawn ambush. A innkeeper in Camelin spilled wine on a dark friend's notes, exposing a plot to kidnap Mat. A group of Shienaran soldiers happened upon them, offering safe passage to Fal Dara, all because Rand's Ta'veren aura twisted chance into survival. He didn't plan these coincidences, he didn't even notice them. They were the pattern's response to his existence, a silent hand clearing his path. Mat's Ta'veren nature manifests in a different chaos. Luck, good and bad, amplified to absurdity. He gambles and wins fortunes he doesn't need. He stumbles into dangerous ruins and emerges with ancient artifacts, the Shadar Logoth dagger, the Horn of Valeri, that the pattern needs him to have. He avoids death by inches, not because he's skilled, but because reality bends to keep him alive. In Tar Valon, he's captured by the Red Aja, only to, coincidentally, escape when a group of White Cloaks attacks the tower, creating a distraction that lets him slip away. In Tyr, he's caught in a riot, yet somehow ends up in the exact alley where Moiraine's agents wait to smuggle him to safety. Mat hates his Ta'veren luck, calls it a curse, but it's the pattern's way of ensuring he's in the right place at the right time, even if he fights it every step of the way. Perrin's Ta'veren influence is quieter, but no less profound. He binds people together. Where Rand draws chaos and Mat draws chance, Perrin draws unity. In the Two Rivers, after Trollocs raid their villages, farmers and blacksmiths, ordinary people, rally around him, forming a militia that defends their homes against impossible odds. They don't follow him because he can channel, or because he's a prophecy. They follow him because his Ta'veren aura fosters trust, turning strangers into brothers in arms. Later, in Ghealdan, he unites wolves and humans, two species that have feared each other for centuries, not through force, but because his presence bends the pattern toward harmony. Perrin's power isn't about warping luck or fate. It's about warping connections, forging bonds that the wheel needs to withstand the Dark One. This raises the central question: is Ta'veren influence a form of power, or just blind fate? The line blurs, but one truth is clear: it's a force others can strategically leverage or mitigate. Moiraine Damodred understood this better than anyone. She didn't just protect the three Ta'veren, she used their Ta'veren aura to her advantage. She knew Rand's gravitational pull would draw allies to him, so she guided him toward regions where those allies were needed most. She knew Matt's luck would get them out of tight spots, so she let him take risks she'd never let anyone else take. She knew Perrin's ability to unite people would strengthen their cause, so she pushed him to embrace leadership. Moraine didn't fight the Tavern Anomaly, she surfed its waves, turning their passive influence into a weapon against the shadow. Others sought to mitigate it. The Dark One's minions learned to avoid the Tavern whenever possible, knowing their plans would unravel in the face of reality-bending coincidence. Dark friends sent to assassinate Rand often found themselves tripping over their own feet, or betrayed by allies who accidentally revealed their plots, victims of the pattern's defense of its chosen. Even the White Tower, divided on how to handle the Dragon Reborn, tried to contain his Taverine influence. Red Aja's sisters sought to gentle him, not just because he channeled Set-In, but because his aura was destabilizing their carefully crafted politics. Blue Aja sisters sought to guide him, recognizing his influence as a tool for good. Both factions understood. Tavern couldn't be ignored, only managed. The passive manipulation of Tavern is power of the purest kind. It doesn't require effort, or skill, or even awareness. It's the wheel's will made flesh, a reminder that the pattern is alive, and it has favorites. Rand, Matt, and Perrin never asked to be Tavern. They never wanted the weight of reality bending around their every step. But that's the Anomaly's core. Power without agency, influence without intent. It's a gift and a curse, one that forces them to confront a terrifying truth. They are not just characters in the wheel story, they are its anchors. As we watch the three Tavern navigate their journeys, we're forced to rethink everything we know about control. In a world where power is often about dominance over the one power, over armies, over enemies, Tavern remind us that the most powerful force can be passive. It's the farmer's son who doesn't want to be a king, yet kingdoms rally to him. It's the gambler who just wants to run away, yet destiny keeps pulling him back. It's the blacksmith who fears his own strength, yet people keep following him. They don't control the pattern controls them, yet in that lack of control, they change the world more profoundly than any Aes Sedai or Forsaken. The Tavern Anomaly isn't just a quirk of the Wheel of Time, it's a revelation. It tells us that power isn't always about what you can do. Sometimes, it's about what you are, a nexus, a catalyst, a living thread that the pattern can't do without. It tells us that fate and power are two sides of the same coin, and that the wheel's greatest weapons aren't forged in fire or weaves, but in the quiet, unplanned chaos of ordinary people chosen to be extraordinary. In the end, the Tavern are a reminder. The wheel doesn't need heroes who wield power. It needs heroes who are power, whether they know it or not. And as Rand, Matt, and Perrin march toward the last battle, their Tavern aura will continue to warp reality, bind allies, and bend fate to the wheel's will, proving that the most dangerous, most transformative force in the Westlands isn't magic. It's the anomaly of being chosen. In the Wheel of Time, magic blazes and prophecies roar, but the world is often shaped by quieter, deadlier forces, whispers in shadowed halls, alliances forged in greed, and the slow, ruthless precision of political maneuvering. Power doesn't always require weaving the one power, or wielding a legendary sword. For lords, ladies, and outcasts alike, it lies in the art of influence, the ability to bend others to your will without lifting a finger, to turn enemies into pawns, and to build empires on promises and secrets. This is political chess, a game where information is currency, trust is a weapon, and the stakes are the fate of nations. Whispers and alliances are the backbone of this game, wielded by houses, nations, and secret societies to amass power that outlasts any weave. Strategic marriages don't just unite families, they bind kingdoms. Consider the union between House Turkand of Andor and House Maravaile of Caerhien. On the surface, it was a truce to end border skirmishes, but beneath it, Queen Morgase Turkand secured access to Caerhien's timber and mineral mines, while House Maravaile gained Andor's grain supplies to survive a harsh winter. The marriage wasn't love, it was a trade, and both nations thrived because of it. Trade agreements, too, are chains of influence. When Tarvalon controls the flow of silk and spices through the Westlands, it doesn't need to channel to make lords bow. It only needs to threaten to cut off their wealth. Blackmail, the darkest thread of this web, turns even the proudest nobles into puppets. In Caemlyn, a minor lord once tried to oppose Queen Morgase's alliance with the Blue Aja until she revealed his secret dealings with dark friends, a threat that cost him his title and his freedom, all without a single spell being cast. These are the tools of political chess, quiet, insidious, and impossible to defend against. Nowhere is this game deadlier than in cities like Camelin and Cairhien, where the game of houses is more than a pastime, it's a way of life. In Camelin, the royal palace's gilded halls hum with unspoken tensions. Lords and ladies exchange pleasantries over wine, but their eyes scan for weaknesses. A falter in a story, a too quick glance, a hesitation to commit. Information is the most valuable currency here. A single whispered rumor about a lord's treasonous correspondence can topple his house, while a well-timed secret about a rival's financial ruin can elevate your own. Trust is a luxury no one can afford. Even family members spy on each other, their loyalties shifting like sand. In Cairhien, the game is even more cutthroat. After King Laemon's death, noble houses fought for the Sun Throne not with armies at first, but with sabotage and intrigue. A lord might poison a rival's wine, then frame another house for the crime, all while presenting himself as a peacemaker. Messengers carry coded letters hidden in the hems of their robes, and meetings happen in cellars and abandoned temples, far from prying eyes. In these cities, political influence isn't just power, it's survival. To lose the game is to lose everything. Yet some of the Westlands' most influential figures wield this power without a drop of the one power. Take Davram Bashere, Lord of Saldaea and Marshal General of Andor's armies. Bashir has never channeled Sadar or Sadim, but kings and queens defer to him. His power lies in his military genius and political acumen. He united Saldaea's warring clans through a mix of respect and shrewd deal-making, turning a fragmented nation into a borderland powerhouse. When he allied with Randall Thor, he didn't do it out of loyalty to a prophecy. He did it because he recognized Rand's potential to stabilize the Westlands, ensuring Saldaea's safety from the Blight. Bashir's influence comes from trust. His soldiers follow him because he leads from the front. His allies trust him because he keeps his word, and his enemies fear him because he always stays one step ahead. He doesn't need magic to command respect. He earns it, one strategic move at a time. Logain Ablar, once a false dragon condemned to death, is another testament to power without magic. After being gentled and later healed, Logain lost his ability to channel, but gained something far more valuable, a following. Thousands of men and women who once rallied to his banner still see him as a symbol of resistance against the White Tower's tyranny. He didn't need the one power to command their loyalty. He needed a cause, a voice, and the ability to turn his own suffering into a rallying cry. When Logain speaks, lords listen, not because he can hurl fire, but because he represents hope for those who feel oppressed by the tower or the shadow. His influence is rooted in charisma and shared grievance, a force no weave can match. He plays political chess with masterful precision, aligning with Rand to gain legitimacy, then building his own faction to ensure he's never again at the mercy of others. Logain proves that power isn't about what you can do, it's about what people believe you can do. The art of political influence is a game of patience and perception. It's about knowing when to speak and when to listen, when to give and when to take, when to threaten and when to charm. It's about understanding that people are driven by greed, fear, pride, and hope, and using those motivations to your advantage. In the Wheel of Time, magic can level cities, but political influence can build them. Weaves can win battles, but alliances can win wars. Prophecies can name heroes, but political acumen can turn those heroes into kings. This is the true power of political chess. It's eternal. The one power fades when a channeler dies, but alliances outlast generations. Swords rust, but secrets linger. Magic dazzles, but influence endures. From the gilded halls of Camelin to the war-torn borders of Saldaea, from the scheming courts of Cairhien to the ragtag camps of Logain's followers, the art of influence shapes the Westlands in ways no spell ever could. In the end, political chess isn't just a game for nobles. It's a reminder that power comes in many forms, and the most dangerous form is the one you don't see coming. It's the whisper that changes a vote, the alliance that turns the tide, the leader who unites a people without ever touching the source. In the Wheel of Time, magic may light the way, but it's the art of influence that steers the course of history. And for those who master it, the world itself is nothing more than a chessboard, waiting to be played.